Hey guys, it's Pastor Chris, and this is your Discipleship Minute. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking specifically about the doctrines of the faith, or why it is what we believe, why it is we believe what it is that we believe. About a week and a half ago, I talked about the doctrine of the church. And within the doctrine of the church, there's a couple different things that we just need to make sure gets highlighted because they're key to what the church life is and how the church functions and to support the members and the believers inside of the church. On Thursday last week, we talked about baptism, and today we're going to talk about the Lord's Supper. And then on Thursday this week, we're going to talk a little bit about the Lord's Day, what we celebrate on Sunday, is a day that we come together and gather for worship. But today, the Lord's Supper. So what we believe is it is a celebration feast. There are some beliefs that believe that there's a supernatural element that Jesus is actually in the bread, and that Jesus is actually in the juice. And then there's other elements that believe that we are actually partaking in the bread, or the bread is actually Jesus, and that the blood is actually Jesus. That's not what we believe as Southern Baptists. What we believe is what we do there is we are following a commandment which Jesus gave us back on that first Last Supper, whenever he told the disciples to eat this bread in remembrance of him, remembrance of what he did for us on the cross, remembering the change that he has made in our life. Whenever we drink of the juice, remembering the blood sacrifice that we deserved for our sins, but he was willing to do in our place. That's what we see the Lord's Supper as. It's a very serious moment, not to be taken lightly, but when we self-reflect on what God has done in our life, and honestly, what we are currently doing in our Christian walk. Paul's very clear in 1 Corinthians that anybody who partakes of the Lord's Supper with unconfessed or unrepentant sin in their heart, it would be better for them to die than to partake in that Lord's Supper and that remembrance feast. So that's how we view the Lord's Supper. I want to thank you again for joining us for your Discipleship Minute. On Thursday, we're going to be talking about the last day, the Lord's Day, or what we celebrate on Sunday as we come together for believers.